Hello and welcome to the Ladies' Room. Today I have a very exciting personality with me, Mago. He's all the rage in New York City, a fabulous abstract artist. And how did you get the name Mago?
Hello.
Were you born Mago?
No, I wasn't born Mago, but it's my nickname, given to me by my family, due to my personality.
Mago, what does it mean in Spanish?
Mago literally means magician, wise man.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you get to be a wise man so young?
Well,
an old soul?
Yes, a little bit of that. A little bit of an inquisitive mind.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
No, I always had an inquisitive mind and wild imagination, had great stories to tell, and my parents just, in good Latino tradition, gave me a nickname, and it
means magic.
And it means magic.
And now you're creating magic.
Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to create magic on canvas and on all non-traditional surfaces, and just really put it out there.
And how old were you when you started painting?
I started painting about the age of 7. I was given my first watercolor set.
And you're probably not even 30 yet.
Not 30 yet. Working on it.
Okay.
I just turned 29 actually 2 weeks ago, June 5th.
Yay, Gemini. Okay. We love the Geminis.
Of course we do.
Yes, we do.
So I truly have reconnected with Mago in the past 5-6 years, and you've seen some of that growth because I was working in the city in fashion. Actually started very young. My first internship was at 14. I got my first break, and continued on to about the age of 23. And then I got this amazing phone call from Linda Ardigo, landscape designer.
Our wonderful friend Linda
Yes.
Ardigo, who we love, our favorite landscape designer, Linda Gardens. Read her column in Hamptons.com.
Hello.
Hello, Linda.
And it really, it allowed me to get back to the canvas. It truly did.
Now, Linda's phone call to you, what did Linda say? Hey,
Well,
get
she
back
said,
to the canvas?
No, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
She said, could you please help me out with a garden? And little did I know it was a sprawling garden, and it was just a new job. It just became a whole, it became a career. So you
worked with Linda for several years.
I did.
And did that get you started in watercolor or something?
No. What that did was, through the years, I had been painting with oils, and my work was very, very, very heavy.
Your work just fell off the wall. It was so heavy.
And I mean heavy. And
heavy. Just fell.
Yes.
This is a beauty.
Actually, this is the first piece that I created.
Is the name of this start to finish?
Yes.
How appropriate.
And not only that,
beauty.
this is the first piece that I turned into more of a graphic style. And I really wanted to simplify my work. And what I found was out here, cutting out all the shenanigans from the city and all the rock star lifestyle that I had, I got a chance to just really simplify, and I didn't want to just beat a canvas down anymore. I wanted to truly search for the reason that I was painting and really find myself in my work. So what I first did is I dropped all the color, and I just started working with black.
At what point did you do this gigantic poster? This is called Diva?
This is Diva. This is part of my first series that I started promoting about 3 years ago, and it's part of a series called No Man's Land, Everyone's Territory. And it's basically using symbols from the 5 boroughs and that raw tribalism that still exists in New York, in each borough, in each neighborhood, on each street. So I created this poster as a backdrop to my first show in Soho, which was totally a success and really was the start of truly working as a professional artist now.
Cool. Yeah, your career took off after this. I like the way you incorporated your logo, your name, Mago, in the graphic. It looks great.
What I do, Judy, is Mago is also a symbol for me. Mago is a symbol that means history, nature, and so also the urban rearing of the New York City landscape or cityscape per se. So at times you can find it on the work, and it becomes part of the work. It becomes part of the painting. If not, I sign the back of the painting. So it really is part of the work, and it's part of the message.
From what areas do you draw your inspiration? What kind of research do you do for your work?
Well, to be honest with you, it's all research. My whole life is research.
That's that inquisitive mind working, right?
Yes. I'll end up making this into a piece too, probably. So I truly, I'm inspired by all my surroundings, by all of my relationships, by all events that happen in my life. I find them to be special and beautiful. But the undercurrent of my work is ancient and modern symbolism. So in the work, you can see inspirations from African symbolism. You can see Japanese and Chinese calligraphy techniques. And you can also see graffiti.
Now, did you study these things in college, or did you go to art school?
Not specifically. I worked on 8th Street when 8th Street was really cool, and Patty Fiedels was on 8th Street, and it was a happening in Rockin' Street. And the New York Art Studio, I took some live painting and live drawing.
Okay.
So that was a bit of formal, per se. But most of it has been informal. I've always worked in the creative field and sector. So I ran photo shoot studios for a while. I was a model scout, then landscape designer. And all of that has truly made my work richer and what it is now.
Huh. And if you could pick anything, what would your dream project be? Where do you see yourself going from here?
Actually, my dream project knocked on my door last year, and it's ongoing. And I'm proud to say I'm now the co-chair of the silent auction for the Human Rights Campaign here in New York.
Cool.
Which is the largest advocacy group for LGBT.
What is LGBT?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something honest. I didn't want to make it so much about me, and I wanted to make it something for the community.
To make a difference in the world.
Yeah, make a difference in the world, something universal. So I chose 2 universal symbols. I chose equality.
Okay.
And I chose love.
Okay.
I created a video, and most recently a new video and photo shoot, and these T-shirts. And what they are is they are a infinite fashion-forward installation. Because I created them vice versa, so meaning if we were hugging, the equality sign would be complete. And if I was hugging someone else here, the heart would be complete. So it's meant for lovers, family members, and supporters, allies of our community to wear and increase that message across the board. So that's been going on now for the last 2 years. Hopefully, there's conversation going now that it might end up in Saks Fifth Avenue, and that could really catapult to have the message grow and truly hit the universe. Although we're being very lucky here in New York because it has passed through the assembly, a gay marriage.
Yes, just the other day, right?
Just
like
the other day.
2 or 3 days ago.
And we're waiting to see what happens with the Senate. So
Yeah.
so this is my dream project. I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was going to come knocking on my door. I had no idea, nor do I think the HRC had in mind that I was going to do something like this, or that our relationship was going to grow.
No, and we're panning your art. I was going to ask you if you had any comments on what was showing on the screen. Can I have another one of those paintings to put up here where the start to finish decided to finish over here?
Yes.
So, Enrique, what are we seeing up on the screen now?
What you're seeing, the current painting, that's Obama Press. This is True Color coming in up here with the green, black, and yellow.
I like that a lot, yeah.
And, well, True Color was, I inside of a series, I feel like almost there are collections that happen, movements. So...
What's going on here?
The spiritual movement.
It's magic. So your real name is not Mago.
My real name is Enrique Jose Martinez Polo.
Polo?
Yes.
Huh. And where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in New York. Here, let me help you. I was born in New York. The story is like this. My mother came here from South America, Colombia,
From Colombia.
with me in her belly when she was like 8 months pregnant. So I was totally meant to be born in New York, in this vortex of energy, in this beautiful city and beautiful countryside and all of this that we love so much. So my parents came here looking for the American dream, as many people do, and it was a great decision because they live a wonderful life, and myself and my two brothers, Caesar and Jairo, and my parents, my mother's Carmen, my father's Jairo, have been living wonderfully here in the States and in New York now for 28 years, 29.
29 years.
So, but I was partially educated in Colombia. My parents decided to have us go back to learn Spanish at the age of, I think it was like 12, 13, around that age.
And did the kids go back, or your parents went back too?
My mother went back with us, and we went to a bilingual school. And there I had some private tutoring as well. I got into oils.
How did you like being back in Colombia? Was it exciting to you?
It was extremely exciting. It was different.
What area of Colombia?
Santa Marta. It's the Caribbean coast. It's a beautiful city that is surrounded by mountains.
With snow on the top.
With snow on the top.
Hot
beach,
palm
palm trees, and Caribbean living on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it is a spectacular place, and I was trained with oils there, and that really opened up my world to oils, which is such a spectacular medium. And I painted there while I was there, and then when I came back to the States, I stuck to the oils.
And how old were you when you went back?
I think I did 5th and 6th grade, and then I went back.
And did you not speak Spanish before you went back?
Not really, not so well. I mean, we had to have tutors and all of that. I mean, our Spanish wasn't
So your
great.
parents really Americanized when they came here?
Yeah, my parents are very, they've stuck hard to their culture. I mean, I was growing up with
But
all
they
of
learned English right
Yes.
away, yeah. That's great.
But we spoke Spanish at home, but it was broken down Spanish
Yeah.
with a few English words in there in
Sure.
here and a few slang words. But no, we went there and we learned proper Spanish. So I can read and write in Spanish now.
Castilian? No.
No.
You don't have a lisp?
No.
Let's work on that.
No.
So, are there pieces here that you'd like to show us?
Okay, I could.
And I was wondering, like, why do you feel negative space is so important in your art? I notice a lot of it's very abstract.
I think that negative space is just as important as what I'm painting.
Yeah,
I think
statement.
that is a statement. I think it's part of the statement, and I think the negative space, especially in this work, is the statement. I told you I really simplified. And I also wanted to be responsible of my materials as far as how much paint I was using or how large my canvases were. That's why these canvases are 18 by 24 and 18 by 16.
And Diva originally was 18 by 24 too, right?
Going back to the negative space, you can see here as part of a movement in no man's land and everyone territory.
I can watch it on the monitor.
I basically...
And this is acrylic on canvas?
This is acrylic on canvas, using somewhat of an Asian influence, I would say, to create these simple lines, yet so profound.
Yeah.
Diva also is on canvas and is 18 by 24.
Oh, there she is.
And this was...
It's a beauty.
And it truly was...
Pretty exotic.
An exorcist moment. I mean, I really hit a pinnacle in my search for the truth from my work and why I paint. Because I did this without practicing. I just really hit the canvas with the tube. I created the surface right from the tube. So this piece here.
I feel like that's unusual for you, those colors.
Yeah, this is from start to finish.
I like that a lot.
This was the first piece that I created using this more graphic technique, and using the negative space as well. You can see it's almost like a self-portrait of me.
Dancing or throwing your arms up.
Yeah, throwing my arms, of liberation.
Liberation.
And also some influence from out here with the colors, and you could see some of nature.
Is it sort of coming around full circle-ish, too?
Yeah. And some of, when I first moved out here, I was lucky to live in Sagaponack on Town Line, a block and a half away from the beach.
Right.
So that was truly amazing for me, spiritually, artistically, to go to bed with the ocean crashing, being surrounded by a reserve. It gave me the peace that I was looking for. Also working with the organic palette day in, day out with the landscaping was a true influence as well, because it's alive.
Yeah, you guys did several Zen gardens.
Yes.
You did beautiful. They were sculptures, those gardens, really.
Yes. And you could find those strong colors and bold statements in my work, because that's what we created. And it was a true influence. That's why I'm so thankful for spending time out here creating work. And I do feel like I'm an artist from this area. I'm a local artist. And
Well, now you show every weekend now at Harrison Gallery in
yes, in Bridgehampton.
Bridgehampton.
Yes, I do
And
show.
is that just Sundays or?
On Sundays, we're going to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
On the 30th, July 30th, I'm having a big opening for my new series that I'm completing now, which I've been really blessed that one of my patrons, Vanessa Muniz, has actually given me a beautiful space to paint out of.
Cool.
So
And where is that located? Your
that
space?
is in Old Brookville right now. I still have studio space here in Bridgehampton, so if anyone wants to stop by for a private viewing, you can contact me directly at 212-203-7582 or email me at NYC.
Right up on the screen.
Oh, there you go.
NYCMago
NYCMago@AOL.com.
Yeah.
So this new show is going to be called Muse Deep in the Garden. And it's going to be about the beauty and drama of a muse deep in the garden. And you'll see a lot of the different influences. I'm going to have faces.
Floral at all?
Floral, yes, yes. And insects and birds and bunnies and...
Insects, not incest. Right?
Right.
Nah, maybe a little bit. I would imagine it was probably very inspirational working with Linda Ardigo, because my experience with Linda was that when I spoke to her about doing my garden and landscaping
Right.
this hill, we had a conversation like on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday she came over with a watercolor of how the whole hill would look.
Right.
And that was amazing, how
Yeah.
she can visualize and paint the gardens. And,
I learned a lot from her, and I totally have to put that out there. I
Yeah.
learned a lot from her artistically, from her renderings, and just the way that she saw movement and nature and colors come together to create something that was exceptional, that was a true experience, and something that I saw change the lives of the people that she was creating it for.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like
Yeah,
so many
change
people...
the whole environment
Yeah.
around your house, and it becomes park-like.
Yeah, and not only
Yeah.
that, it draws you out.
Yeah.
So some of that is what I create in my work. I've worked so far on 3 different series. This, what I'm showing you now, which is No Man's Day in Everyone's Territory. I worked on Ecstasis, which is to stand out of form, which are installation boxes that are backed with a reflector. And then I worked on multimedia on photography from an international photographer that shoots taboos. And that particular taboo was Black Christ. And I painted and added my reflective surfaces onto.
And now
then,
you're wearing rosaries heavily to make up for all of that.
oh,
right?
oh, please.
Forgive me.
So, sure. And my installations. So those have been the 4 series that I have been promoting and putting out there to the universe. I feel really positive about my work. I think everyone that has supported me, I think all of the collectors, I think the first collector I ever had, the first person that initiated me, which was or is Edward Wickerson, which he came to the studio to check out our landscape design, and when he saw my work, he fell in love with and purchased the first piece. It was the first exchange, and I was just like, I knew that at that point I was ready to start really sharing it and putting it out there, and it was a moment of bliss.
Well, Linda also has an art gallery at her design studio.
She
and
does.
Didn't she give you a show like 2
Yes,
summers ago?
exactly on my birthday.
Yeah, exactly. on
She
your
did,
birthday.
she did. She's definitely the car that is driving me to the party.
In more ways than one.
Really? That's how I got to the studio today.
Do you have a driver's license?
Let's not talk about that.
My daughter doesn't have a driver's license. She lives out here. So
Let's not go there, Judy.
people that live in Manhattan don't need driver's licenses.
Well, I had a driver's license, but I really, for a second, I thought I was a rock star.
Interesting stories.
Oh, come on.
What were those interesting stories
Oh,
you told your
Lord.
parents when you were little that they named
Oh,
you Mago?
no.
Let's hear
Let's
one,
just
let's
say-
hear one of them. Did you have imaginary friends?
No, but what I did have was a lot of sleepless nights as a kid.
Oh, that's a Gemini thing, the active mind.
Yeah.
It's hard to go to sleep. Yeah.
And what would happen is, in that trance moment of being awake and asleep, I would just open the universe
Oh,
tetronically,
that's very cool.
and to the point where I thought I was gonna fall over or die or something, and I would have very vivid dreams, and when you explain that to someone that doesn't have that very visual imagination, it sounds
You're
like
crazy.
another excuse
Yeah.
why you don't want to go to school. But I really wasn't sleeping, so.
And you really didn't want to go to school.
And I really didn't want to go to school either.
Well, we are just about out
Great.
of time.
Well,
and
thank
I
you
just
so much,
enjoyed talking to
Judy.
you so
Thank
much.
you all, and I hope
Mago,
to see
everyone, the
you.
information's up on the screen. Thank you once again for joining the ladies' room. And remember, ladies, give yourself lots of room. We need room. Room to paint. Start painting. Room for love, room for fun, room to grow, and room to glow. You're glowing, my friend.
I am. Thank you so much, Judy.
You're welcome.
Have a
So,
great day.
Breathe in. Now I took what I want, but you find that everything I've got, you step forward.